Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Paradise Pump. And I'm your host, Mark, with Jed and Mel. We haven't
hmm
been on for the last couple weeks, but lots of stuff going on. So we're back.
Yeah, life.
Life's happening. It's already February, 1 month down.
Did we do any in January?
We did
I
one.
think we
One?
did one. Yeah. So, yep. So the world is changing, and things are
S-
Getting
happening.
better.
Good
Yeah.
things. I think so.
Things are
Yeah.
getting better.
Good
Since we
stuff.
are talking about fitness, I forwarded it to Jed in high question in regards to
Oh
what
shit.
was in situation there. Did you happen to see that one? I he was looks like she was in transition from female to male who competed in a men's classic
Oh, I saw the
show.
article. I
hmm
didn't see a video. I just kind of saw like I read a thing on it.
What's your take on that?
Um, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know.
I think
I don't know. I just I don't know.
they should have to be under the same guidelines, meaning if you're a female transitioning to male and you go on stage with a bunch of males and you're not fully transitioned or don't look the part, don't expect to win. It's the same argument make for trans women that go to beauty pageants. If you meet all the requirements that aren't catered to you, you meet the same requirements the other girls have to make and you beat them, maybe the cis girls need to, up their game. But this is one of those topics where you just can't go straight across the board. Like performance sports, absolutely a no-go. Because no matter what you say about hormones or being castrated, at some point in your life, you were exposed to male hormones that put you above where normal cis females are at. And but then you go into, okay, what about bodybuilding and figure? Like figure, bikini, I don't see a problem with it because they're structurally going to be at a disadvantage. But if you go into like female bodybuilding and stuff, now you're talking about now they're going to have an edge. So it's like a dependent upon the category. So that's how I feel about it.
Oh
And
yeah. I
to
mean,
go ahead.
my thing with the whole sports thing is I'm completely against that. Like males,
Yeah.
females do female. Like that's my thing when it comes to like sports. So yeah, for sure. I don't know. Bodybuilding's kind of I don't. It was kind of interesting. I think that's the first time I ever seen that
Because it's
where a
cosmetic, so
female,
it's a little
what a
different.
female who's transitioning to a male is competing against men. I was like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
that I
So
would think that would be a disadvantage for her.
I mean, she did decent for what it was, but to Jed's point, if you're gonna go that far, complete your transition. She was still using the boob pasties to try and
Oh,
cover it up a little
oh,
bit. She didn't do the top. On top of
mm,
that as well too. I mean, her glutes, she was still caked up. This full round glutes, not like
really?
the men's cut out striated glutes. Uh, as far as the division, um, posing was subpar. I mean, you're
Mm,
I think he was a little bit over her head.
okay,
But if you want to compete in it, by all means, I mean, if that's what your heart desires, just know what you're up against
right,
and
right.
don't complain.
I mean, if you're a trans female and you decide to go figure and you look the part and you can get your body that shape and everything, go for it. Shit. It's not performance. You're not putting anybody else in danger. Not
hmm
like UFC or football or something where
Yeah,
a trans woman could literally kill a cisgender woman in the ring. It's a little different.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like I said, when it gets to bodybuilding and stuff, then it's a little gray there. So
I mean,
whatever.
we've had it in a few small instances here in Hawaii. You and I talked about where there is that female to male competing in men's physique
hmm
at the Ikaika a few years back, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And then I had a male to female do the Paradise Cup once.
right. Um,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it happens, so it's around. They're trying,
Mm,
but I, my hats off to them for going that far, knowing that
hmm, interesting.
but fit the criteria.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't have a lot of opinions on it. I just like okay, whatever.
It was just odd for me. I'm gonna forward you the video now. It's just
Yeah, I haven't seen the
she
video.
was wearing the pasties, and it was like her posing. It was
Wasn't that great? Yeah.
nah,
Mm.
but
Where was this at?
I don't recall where it was at. It
U.S.
just happened
Was
most
it U.S.?
recently. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Now that men's wellness bullshit.
Oh, the Brazilian, the
Yeah,
wellness thing.
that making
Yeah.
a special. What are they gonna
Yeah.
do? Like bikini men's next? Like, if
Yeah.
you're a guy and you want to compete in wellness, you need to go toe to toe with the women and meet their fucking standards. I don't think you should have a special category for you. I don't. I just don't. I don't give a fuck what anybody else's argument
Men's
is.
wellness.
I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb.
Or yeah, it's interesting. It looks like AI, some of it. You're like, wait a minute. Because the upper body is just like slim, and then they have these bigger legs, but then it's like a dude, and then I don't know.
It's
Big
even
ass
even that's
glutes.
confusing for I was like, what
And he
is going
wears
on?
makeup
Right.
and
They wear a lot of makeup and
hair,
so
nails, and all
yeah,
of
they
that
do all
other
that.
stuff as
Yeah,
well too.
yeah.
I
And
think
then
that was just a
they
promoter.
pose.
That was just a promoter trying to make money. Is what that was.
Well, I don't think it's coming to the US, so that's overseas,
Or
right?
not anytime soon, but it's available overseas for you
Yeah.
guys who want to do men's wellness.
But
Get
look
it.
like a
Get
female,
some.
so that makes sense.
Get some. Get some.
Is that in Brazil when they had
I
it?
think it
I
was
think it was
Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah, Brazil kind of started all that stuff anyway.
They
They
started it.
started
It came out of
wellness.
wellness.
All the
That's
big
where it's.
booty divisions.
That's right. They got the big booties in Brazil, and that's. I mean, isn't that kind of where the BBLs kind of came out of? Like Brazil kind of started that trend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's
The
what it
whole
was, a
BBL, right?
Brazilian butt lift,
Right.
right?
So that's where it started from. Yeah, and it became popular, and then yeah. So there you go. They like the booty.
I mean, it is a money grab, so they could bring it here. I'm curious as to seeing how many American people would actually enter that. American men.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now they do have that fit model now, right?
Yep.
They went and created the fit model, which is basically bikini like 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So now this is what I'm thinking though is men's physique, right? Are they gonna do men's model, like a version of that now? Are they gonna do or like men's surfer board or yeah, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Because is that what they're gonna do? Like, I really feel like they might end up doing it. They'll see how the women's go first, because that's what they did with bikini, right? When they made bikini came out first, and they did men's physique after bikini was like out for a year or two. So I'm wondering, they're gonna do this fit model, see how it goes. Pretty good turnout. Oh, let's go do a model division for men now.
You only have so many hours in a night, though.
Yeah,
Like, how
that's
many
what I was
fucking
about to
categories
say.
can you fit in one night?
They're just trying to bankroll.
And they cut everybody else's routine short because
Well,
of it
everybody
now.
got cut now, right? So like bodybuilding now, you're a minute, right?
Yeah, not even. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
they have different sanctions, right? That were catering to like the fit model,
Yeah.
like the WBFF or whatever
Mhm.
that was, the fitness and fashion and modeling, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that was a thing.
Is that still going on? Do
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
still
that
have
was
Paul
that?
Paul
Yeah.
Gillette's.
Gillette's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
So they
Allison
they still
Gillette.
have that, yeah. I never really see much about it on the internet. I mean,
Well, I
it's
know
not popular here.
ran into some hot water with some things,
Oh, okay.
and then I know that there's a few of them that are still trying to kick it back off again. So
Yeah, that production, I mean, that's I never seen it. I've seen it on the internet. I never seen it live, but that seems like it's a pretty good show.
It's interesting
There's
how
a
they do
lot
their
of money
I
categories.
went
for
I
them
went to
though.
it
They have to do a
alive.
lot. Oh, you
Was it
did?
good?
I went to their worlds in Las
Yeah.
How was
Vegas.
it? It was
It
cool.
was amazing. So like you know how they have the uh Victoria's Secret
Yeah.
models for like some of the
Oh,
females
like
with the
that
wings,
stuff.
and they come out and they're parading, but they're in shape
But they have these
and they're
great outfits,
yeah.
costumes and stuff.
So
Yeah.
they do a bikini, they do like something like that and a gown. The guys do like like the short skibbies
Yeah.
and a
In a
suit.
suit.
A suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have different model divisions as well,
Yeah.
sports model or whatever. But
So that show is not. I mean, it's not really bodybuilding show then.
kind of it still is because you still need to have the physique to match
But
it.
not at the level of like an open pro bodybuilder, like IFBB open pro bodybuilder level.
They
It's more
have
like men's
some
physiques, men's
probably
classic,
men's classic.
more like men's classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, not bodybuilding, but it's more
Yeah.
that men's classic body
That
type.
look. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, they have that. They have, I know some of the natural shows they have as well, like lower entry level divisions,
For natural. Yeah.
relative to that fit model. So I was surprised that they actually brought it all the way here to the MPCI FBB,
Yeah.
but that's gonna be long ass nights.
Do you guys ever think that like natural bodybuilding is ever going to be like a thing, you know?
Well, that last show that we went to at OCB, I really liked how they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was we were out there for what, 5? They did all the women prejudging and finals, and they had like an hour intermission, and then they did the males, and then they were done. It was organized very well.
I think for women divisions, I think it probably does. It could do well, I guess. But for like men bodybuilding and stuff, I don't know. I just don't see them having a huge turnout. And it
Yeah.
comes in waves. I've noticed this in the last like 30 years. Like there's been times, oh, not like natural bodybuilding, natural. Then I'll have these shows. It'll be popular for a little while, and then it'll kind of be quiet again, and then it'll come back out again. You'll hear about it. Oh, it's big again. I was like, it's never been consistently because like I know NPC right now they're trying to do
They're
something,
trying to
right?
push it so that they have
Yeah,
all 50 states have a natural Ben Weeder
right.
natural show.
And they try to do it in the 90s, I remember. Because I think was it Muscular Development came out, they switched their whole forum. It was like 96 or something. They switched their entire forum to be like this natural thing. And they were trying to do it, and I think it only lasted maybe a year. They were trying to do this, and then it kind of died. But yeah, it was like I don't know. I just don't know if it's ever gonna be a thing.
I
Like,
know OCB's coming back. I think can't remember where they said they were going to be. There's
oh
someplace
yeah.
bigger than Croc Center, but they're coming back
Oh,
next year.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if they have it somewhere in town, might be pretty good. Who knows? I don't
I
know.
mean you don't get that circus freak factor on
Yeah,
when
of
people
course.
come
Yeah,
out. It's like, oh, these are people kind of in shape competing. That's cool.
kind of in shape, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little suspicious of how few people may cycle and then get off cycle,
Well, it's
do the
polygraph, right?
Yeah, I think
urinalysis
so.
and polygraph.
So it's both. Okay. I don't know,
But
man. I
still,
don't
right?
know.
We
Yeah,
talked about how the Olympics they cycle on
yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
off and
yeah.
all
Of
of that so
course.
that right on time they could pass their test. I mean,
Hmm.
we
Yeah,
see
there's
it.
ways always, right? There's ways of being it, but I don't know. I mean, do you guys think that bodybuilding, like the sport of bodybuilding itself, just in general, is getting better? Or do you guys think it's just like it's just getting watered down? It's just kind of like getting played out. Like
They're
like what do you
trying
guys
too hard
think?
to make money. It's getting ridiculous. I don't think it makes the sport look great. It just like the crossover thing.
Mm,
So
Uh,
even if you do crossover, you're not going to get to do two separate routines, right?
right.
Okay, so why charge full price? If you do 150 for one, if you cross over, it should be 75.
Half of, yeah.
But
Yeah.
they do all these, and when the promoter does that, our attitude going in shows this guy just wants to get fucking paid, and it kind of takes the kind of wind out of your sails. It makes you think the promoter doesn't give a fuck.
or they're for the competitor that do like 4 different divisions, open, novice, masters, and like
Yeah.
all of the above,
Yeah.
and then cross to another division and do all of
Yeah.
is it like you
Well,
can't
is that person just trying to get trophies? Or are they like, man, I don't know if I'll get qualified, so let me just try everything. Like, I don't
yeah,
know. Right?
both
What is that?
both. See, that's a little bit ridiculous, and it gets expensive, like how Jed was
Yeah.
talking about, because you're paying full price for everyone you cross over
Yeah, why
to.
would you do that? Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're to me, unless you're it was like a pro qualifier, like, oh, you can get oh, the over 35, the over 40, whatever, the over 45, say you're like that age, I could do all three and maybe one of these I'll get pro card, right? Then I could see you spending the money on it because it's like you might hit one of those. But if it's like a local show, like why do so many divisions, right? I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
The only time is if you don't really know where your physique would fit in,
mm,
then do a couple divisions and see where you score better in, then go for that. I can
yeah,
understand that.
yeah, yeah. They do. I'm gonna do men's physique, classic physique, and bodybuilding. Like, oh, okay, dude.
And in every novice, open, and
Yeah,
masters
in all three of those.
So you're like $1,000 right there.
Oh yeah, probably right. It's like 100 something bucks
for a
each
state
one,
level show.
Yeah.
dude. Come on, bro. No, I don't know.
So that's the one of the other things as far as the women's fitness. You can't do or fit model, women's fit model. You can't cross over to any division. It's either that or
Oh, that was one
none.
of the rules.
Yeah, they should have
Okay.
that rule for more of
I
the
think so.
divisions.
I think so. I think they should have that rule so you can do open bodybuilding and classic physique. Okay. But you can't do men's physique. Like I think men's physique should be its own men's physique, right? And female divisions, like I don't know, even like bikini, I think bikini and wellness, you shouldn't be able to do bikini if you're wellness. Like I just
Exactly, or vice
right,
versa.
like I just don't see why don't no, you shouldn't. So really, I don't know. I think women's bodybuilding and women's physique, you can cross over. And even figure maybe, even the figure's a little different, but that's probably, maybe. But men's no, I think it should just be men's physique, men's classic physique, and the men's classic bodybuilding and open bodybuilding. That's it. Like,
Now, if you want to do like masters and then open in the same division, I think that's fine. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
this is
oh
why
yeah,
there's been guys in masters that can win the open. So I
oh no,
get it,
yeah,
you know.
that is actually cool. Like, I could see you doing like that would be cool because you're like, okay, I might not win that open, but I might, so I want to go for it. But I know the Masters, I think I can take that overall. So you could do both, right? And then if you win both, that's great.
Now, if you qualify, let's say you're doing like physique and classic physique and you qualified or you won one division, I think they'll never make this a rule, but I think at least it would be courtesy to dip out and let whoever's going to finish second get that
Take the
qualification
other
in the other
one,
one.
yeah.
Because you're just, you could go and rack up these qualifications, these divisions, and then not do anything with it when the guys that were at second may be the ones that bust hard and actually go somewhere with it. So I don't
Yeah,
think it's cool to take that from someone if you've already got it. That's just
yeah.
my personal opinion
Well,
on
I
it.
know that there has been judges that have like not let somebody win two overalls. Like you're not gonna win the classic physique and the men's physique. Like you're not gonna win both overalls. You'll get one, but the other one we're gonna give somebody else. Like I've seen that. I was like, I don't know about that one, but hey, I
Yeah,
mean, you let him go in both divisions. If
yeah,
he deserved to win both divisions, he should win both divisions.
yeah.
But I know what you're doing. You're trying to keep it fair. Like, okay, he won one already. We'll let the other guy win. But I'm like, but mm,
Sometimes they do that.
no, they do. But I don't think that that's right. If that's the case, then don't let the guy do both divisions
Don't cross over.
because then you're taking it away from that guy. If he deserved to win both divisions, hey man, he paid the money for it. You guys said he could do it. I'm pretty sure he wasn't doing both divisions so he could just win one and like whatever the other one. Like I'll take second. Like no, if he deserves both, I'm pretty sure he would be like, yeah, I want to win both. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my old thought on it. Because if that's the case, then just don't let him do both divisions. Let him do one. So then you'll keep it fair. Then you won't have to do that. You won't have to pick. Or give it away to somebody who probably didn't deserve it. Like, well, you're not gonna lose. This guy's not gonna win two overalls. So, because some people are good, right? They come in, they're like, man, this guy's gonna take everything.
How do you guys feel about, I don't know if you guys are aware of how the judging criteria goes as far as the overall. Um, it's all dependent on the head
Yeah,
judge
I don't like that.
person, whether or not he's going to be the initial or the only sole person that
Right.
chooses the
Yeah.
overall, or if it's a collective amongst the panel.
Doesn't make any sense to me. Why do you let one person choose the overall, yet you have like seven judges judging the whole show?
Good answer.
Yeah.
That you might as well just let one guy sit up there and just judge the whole show. That's the case, right?
For the overall,
Yeah, but I mean, because why do you have seven judges here or whatever, five, seven, whatever it is? I mean, like, yeah, why? What's the use? Like, and the overall is that's the one that people go in to win.
mm-hmm.
Like, that's the big one, right?
Yep,
That's the title that people want. They want the overall title,
yep,
and you're leaving it up to one person.
yeah.
Like, how does that? I don't understand that. That I don't get.
So the other topic that I want to question is I'm amongst the table. I'm the only one here, but did you guys see that new rule come out about IFBB pros that were inactive for over 3 years?
I
They're
saw that.
basically expired.
I saw
How do
that.
you guys feel about that?
Well, the old ones are grandfathered, right? This is just for new pros.
But if you, so I've been out for 5 years
Yeah.
because of life. if I reinstated because I miraculously healed and wanted to compete, that starts my 3 years again.
So you don't lose your
But I
pro
would
status. You just
you
have
would
to
have to
pay.
requalify.
You what?
You'd have to
Yeah.
requalify.
Oh, so you do lose your pro
Hmm.
status. Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought you had to pay for the card. So basically, if you don't, so you don't have to compete every year. You just have to keep paying for the card,
No, you
and it
have to
keeps your
compete.
status. Oh, you have to compete.
You have to stay active within 3 years.
Okay, I see. I didn't know
And
the
if
rule.
not, then you'd have to do like another pro qualifier.
Well, that actually makes sense because there's so many pro cards that they give
Hmm.
out now. So I can see that because there's so many people, and if somebody isn't competing and say they take a few years off and then they come back and they don't look that great, right? And but they're still an IFBB pro, and there's a whole bunch of these people like I don't think they want the quality to get watered down, right? They want a certain standard, right?
Hmm.
So I can see why they would do that as an active pro, like because there's people who will say, oh yeah, like you could say you didn't compete in 10 years, and you'd be like, yeah, I'm an IFBB pro. And like, that's true. I mean, you got the IFBB pro card. You did earn that, but you're not a current IFBB. Like you're not a competitive IFBB pro, right? You're just I got my IFBB pro card. Okay.
So does that mean that like individuals who's been inactive like me are no longer IFBB pro since we're expired?
I think there's a grandfather rule. Oh,
Well,
sure, so I
no,
talk about it.
I think that you're always going to be an IFBB pro, but are you a competitive IFBB pro? Like, no, if you're not competing, right? If you haven't competed in years, it's just like to me, it's the same as like say in like jujitsu, right? You get your black belt, okay? You get your black belt. You don't have to compete to get a black belt, but you get the black belt, and then you train. And there's some guys who get a black belt, and then sometimes some of them they don't train. Say you don't train for 5 years, you come back, you're gonna be rusty.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you're gonna be rusty, but you're still a black belt. You're still considered a black belt. Maybe your jujitsu now isn't at black belt level because you haven't been training, but you're still you earn that title, right? So I think the IFBB Pro title, you're always going to be considered IFBB Pro. Like I did get an IFBB Pro card, but you're not a competitive IFBB Pro, or you're not a current IFBB Pro, right? You're just an
Yeah.
IFBB Pro. You earned that title.
Well, the reason why I mean, I'm not super torn about it, but yeah, we've already earned it. Like how you gave
Yeah,
analogy of a black belt or a college degree. How
yeah,
many of us get
right,
college degrees and don't even use what the
right.
fuck we went to
You don't
school
even
for,
use it, and
right?
you probably
But you
forgot
still
half the
got it,
shit, right? Yeah,
right? You know,
exactly. You still got it. It's there.
there was a lot of noise on the internet about like people being upset about it, losing
Mm,
their pro status and stuff like
okay.
that. But you know, life goes on.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of crazy. So basically, anybody who hasn't competed for 3 years or more, they're no longer considered a pro. Like they have to go back, requalify, turn pro. Okay.
Yeah,
Even
something like
if
that.
they've so even if you've been paying for your thing, your pro card every year, it doesn't matter.
No, so I mean, what about the Olympians? So like somebody like Phil Heath, he's been
Mm,
out of the game for what, over 5 years maybe now?
mm.
What if he decided to go back? He looks like he still could compete. Would he have to requalify or
Who?
Well,
because he's
I
an
think there's
Olympian,
like a
Who?
Phil?
clause, Phil Heath.
No, because it says right here, anybody before January 1st, 2024 remains active.
But if you
You
read
just have
down
to.
the list, it's once you start again, the 3 years begins.
Hmm.
But I feel like any Mr. Olympia probably never has to qualify again and will
Or
never lose
yeah, right?
status.
Yeah, if you win
See?
Mr.
Like
Olympia,
you're
it
a
should be an
Mr. Olympia, you're never
exception.
gonna lose
Or
status. Yeah.
like Sid Gillian, she won what, 9 or however
Right.
many she won,
Like
7, I
you're
don't know.
always gonna be able to go back and do the
Yeah.
Olympia again. Like I think so. That's just the way it
I'm
works.
sure if
Like
you got an Olympia title, that's an exception.
exactly,
Yeah,
because how many
That
of them
should be an
are there?
should
exception.
be. Yeah,
Shoot, that's
Yeah,
the
no,
most
that's
prestigious
yeah,
show.
no. I don't think they're gonna make him do it all over again.
That would be
I mean, that'd
classic.
be great though. See him
That
go
would
and
be
do a
classic.
national show. He'd wipe
Well,
out. He'd
that's
clean
why
house. Yeah.
Lee Priest reinstated his IFBB Pro card. Did you see that as well
No.
too?
Oh, he did that?
Yeah.
Why? Because of this?
I don't know. So everybody's still wondering and guessing and
I
speculating
hope
what
he gets on
what
stage.
what his
Mm.
intentions
I mean,
is.
he's like
Yeah.
50,
He's got to be
50?
late in
No,
his
He's in
no,
his
50s.
52.
50s.
No, because he was when he turned pro. Yeah, when he was 21, and I think I might have been like 24 or 25. I think he's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. So he might be like 50, 53, 54. Yeah. He's around there.
You think he can keep up with
52.
Open?
52. Okay.
Yeah, I think actually out of all these 90s guys that have made comebacks, his will be the most impressive.
I don't yeah.
Better
I
than
mean,
Kevin LeBron's?
Yes.
well, Kevin lost his legs, man. Kevin still looked impressive, but he lost his legs, yeah.
Look
His
at
legs
look
got
at Lee
smaller.
in 2013 when he did the NABA universe. He looked ridiculous.
Lee is and he's shorter, so I don't think he's his leg
And his
size.
genetics are just fucking
He
superior.
did party a lot though. I know that.
Yeah.
Like
So
Yeah.
you
he
think
did
he's
take
gonna do
time off
Masters
and
Olympia or he's gonna go Open?
Masters, I think he'd win. So I'd tell him to go open.
I don't know. I'd like to see how he looks right now.
What's the prize
I
money
have
for
no idea.
Masters now?
I have no
It's
idea.
probably like 10 grand or
I don't
something. It's
know.
probably not much. Yeah. What is it? First place, like 10 grand, 20 grand, maybe. I don't know. I feel like they don't give a lot. There's the prizes like in the 90s, some of the, not the big shows, but just the good pro shows, Iron Man and stuff like that. That was pretty popular back then. Those shows, you were winning like 10 grand, 10, 15 grand
Back
for first
then,
place. And you look at the shows now, other than the Arnold and the Olympia and
It's
stuff,
still
a
10
lot of
grand.
it's still 10
Yeah.
grand.
oh shit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, 10, 15
That one in
grand.
Dubai is up to 125,000,
There's
isn't it?
only, I think there's only a few, right?
Wow.
There's
Dubai.
Arnold's, there's Olympia, there's like maybe that Dubai, but a lot of the ones on stateside, they're like 10, 15 grand. I think
Oh
still
damn.
it hasn't changed that much, but yeah, it's kind of weird. Like bodybuilders in the 90s, man, they made a lot of money because they could do guest posing and make a ton of money doing
That's where
that.
they made the money, right?
Right now,
Guest
guest
posting.
posing isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody
Like
cares.
nobody
Expos are a
pays.
thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, expos. They used to. I mean, you could fly out a pro, and I think most pros would charge about 5 grand. So they come out, get free hotel, everything, shuttled around for free, and then they'd get paid 5 grand. So they'd stay somewhere for like 3 days, right? Just go
Not counting
somewhere.
to sell their merchandise, how much they make
Oh,
from
and the
that.
merch, yeah, all
Yeah.
their pictures and whatever. So I mean, some of these pros would go around. They do maybe like like 10 guest appearances a year, 10, 15 guest appearances a year, and they'd kill it.
Magazines used to be big as well
Yep.
Meg,
too.
well, that was how they got promoted,
Yeah,
yeah.
that yeah.
And they used to sign contracts with the magazines, like Muscle and Fitness, Flex. I know, like a lot of pros, guys, when they turn pro, kind of within like the first month of turning pro, if they were really like a top guy, they were signing a contract with like Flex magazine for like 100 grand. Basically, all it was they just had to do so many photo shoots a year, promote the magazine. That was it. I mean, and then they would get a supplement deal on top of it, right? So you get a supplement company that pays you, the magazine's paying you, you do your guest appearances. I mean, these guys are making, they're making about 200 grand a year or so just doing that. That was in the 90s, so that money was really good.
Yeah.
And all they did was just bodybuild. So now it's different. I think now the opportunity to make a lot of money is there, obviously, because the internet, right? But I also think it's a lot harder
It is.
overall.
It seems to be that like social media is taking storm.
Yeah.
That's where they make more money
And
being a
if you don't have that, if you're not working on that, even
yeah.
if you're a good bodybuilder, but you're not gonna make that much
Yeah.
money compared to somebody who's maybe average bodybuilder, but they're good at social media. They can make a lot more money.
Like a lot of these fitness influencers aren't even like top ranking bodybuilders, but they're
Yeah.
making bank.
Yeah. Some don't even compete.
Not at
They look
all.
good, but they don't compete. And they're making, like you said, they're making lots of money.
Yeah, using their affiliate link with some supplemental or
Hmm.
peptide company and they're
Or they
making
have
freaking money.
a YouTube channel which pays them. Well, especially the females. The females with the YouTube, and they could be average, but if they look good, if people like their look, they have good personality, they can make a
What
lot
I
of money.
noticed too, a lot of the within the supplemental line, that's how a lot of people have been springboarding to make a lot of money as far as influencers, talking about
Yeah. Yeah.
supplements, um,
Yeah.
gear,
Supplements. Yeah.
all of that good stuff.
That's crazy.
because it was so taboo. You needed to be on like these talk forums before.
Yeah. It really was. You're right. It was
And
so,
yeah,
and a lot of bodybuilders, they wouldn't expose themselves, right? Be like,
no,
they would disguise their voice or
or
black
like
it out.
black out
Yeah.
their picture and
Yeah.
then just
So
show their
weird.
body.
That was
Yeah.
so weird,
And you had
right?
to know somebody to get into the forums to begin with and have these
Man, yeah, I remember
points.
that. Like they wouldn't expose themselves. So interesting nowadays. It's like, who cares, right?
Yeah,
People just
the
talk about it.
information is so readily accessible. They just talk about it and they're making money off of it.
Well, that's right. Now they're making money from it, so they want to show who they are. Yeah.
Maybe you should start talking about gear use.
Mm. Me,
Make money off of that, be an influencer.
I tell you, it's crazy. They love that
Young,
stuff.
young, young guys that have never competed, talking about gear,
Mhm.
making all this money.
Yeah, a bunch of 20-year-olds. Yeah. Hey, I guess if they can do it, people. I
Like
don't know.
promoting SARMs like they're the holy grail. When that guy, you look at that guy, you're like, there's no way you got that big taking fucking Austrian. The fuck out of here.
Like K11.
Yeah,
Yeah. MK677, baby. Yeah.
I like that one.
I know a lot of people do actually, but I think that one's good for like sleep and stuff. I think
But
it's
about a month into it, your blood sugar starts going up. For most people I have
is
use
that
it.
what you
Yeah.
yeah.
Spikes your appetite.
Yep.
That's good. That's good for,
Depends.
bodybuilding. Yeah, you want to have that spike appetite. Yeah, I always had appetite issues.
So, as we're talking about the evolution of things as well, too, how do you guys feel now that we're a lot older, um, introducing functional training into our bodybuilding life as well, too?
It's essential.
Yeah, I actually do it. I mean, I've been doing it.
I just
Um,
started.
but I'm very particular on what exercises that I'm doing. So I have like a set of, I have like a little list of things that I do, right? List of exercises that I would use. But that's it. I don't, yeah, there's some stuff I won't really do. Um, uh, I mean, I'll do cleans sometimes, light,
Those are awesome.
maybe like a 135 stat. That's good weight. Just moving it gets the heart rate up. Box jumps, haven't done those in a while. I know somebody who has, but ever since I got my Achilles torn, like I haven't really done them, and I probably might try and do them again. But I did like doing them. I didn't. There wasn't a high box. I think it was like a 30-inch box, something like that. That's good. I like farmers carries with dumbbells. Um, I like kettlebell swings. I do like wall balls,
Yeah.
targets. Of course, like push-ups and stuff like that. Those type of things, like leg raises, toes to bar type of stuff. I like all those. That stuff's good, man. And I don't feel a lot of pain doing those. So that's what I also base it off of. If something's really, if it hurts a lot, I'm like, maybe I won't do it that much. But if it feels good, my body feels good doing it, then I'll definitely do it, include it.
Do you think it attributes to um, strengthening your tendons and your joints and in preparation for the heavyweight lifting?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I really do. 'Cause I'm not going super heavy on these things anyway, right? Just a little bit more explosiveness,
Hmm.
but not really heavy. Even the sled too. I love that sled. The sled's great. Um, that's that's good cardio right
I
there.
think functional fitness for overall athleticism is, fantastic. Like how we just initially talked about strengthening your joints and
Yeah.
all of that other stuff in preparation for the heavier lifts, or they're good for a variety of people from the beginners to see what level of athleticism. I mean,
Mm,
are they like the two left feet kind of person, or are they natural athletes? Who knows? Maybe some of this functional training could take them somewhere in their high
yeah.
school sports and stuff like that with all the explosive type of exercises on top of how it's great for older people and it helps to create those better moving daily functional patterns,
Mm,
like your squats, your everything. I mean, you don't need to do it explosively
no.
as you're
No.
aging, but it does help.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's good to do to add in there. And I mean, if you do it like once a week, it's fine, like it's good. And if you're lifting a couple days, other days, like, yeah, why not?
I mean, it's interesting to see as well too. Like, Chris Bumstead, he's from bodybuilding. He's starting to incorporate it more and more and
Oh,
more.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if you've, man,
I don't really follow this stuff. Huh?
you're not a doom scroller on the internet, are you? I'm sounding like one with all of this
No,
information.
I watch YouTube a
Okay.
lot, but unfortunately, see that stuff like I can tell you what stuff I watch, but I don't watch very much of that.
Fitness stuff.
Well, and I do watch fitness stuff here and there, but it's only certain ones.
Yeah.
There's only
Uh,
certain things that I watch on there when it comes to fitness. So a lot of yeah, I think the bodybuilding stuff, I'll put it on here and there. Probably a lot of times more so when the Olympia's coming up and all that. A couple months out, I'll start to get into it a little bit and I'll start to see what's going on. But throughout the year, yeah, I'm definitely not watching it as much. And there's a lot of news going on right now too. So I've been doing a lot of news stuff.
yeah.
I mean, with, the new president, the plane crashes, like all these
Oh my
different things
gosh.
going on, all the new hires that they're going through the Senate, through this type of stuff. I've been looking at that kind of stuff lately. So
I'm glad you pay attention to what's going on the geopolitical stage
yeah,
because
I do.
there's more to life than just bodybuilding. And
Yeah.
especially if it has to do with making money, we should be well aware of what's going on.
Oh no, for sure. Like it's interesting to me seeing this political change now. It's like, oh, okay,
I used to
seeing
think
things.
politics was just for old
Oh my
people.
God,
And
same way.
man, it's so important to know.
But you are old.
Yeah, I sure am.
I know. When you thought old people, you probably thought old people who were like in their 50s and up. See, so hey,
Yeah, the ones that are, gathered around McDonald's
yeah,
sipping on
sitting
their
there.
free morning coffee
Yeah,
because they're seniors.
right.
I thought that was gonna be me, but here I
Yeah.
am talking about politics.
Yeah, I know. Even me.
But yeah, back to this whole functional thing. Chris Bumstead started to incorporate it on top of his bodybuilding, and I personally think he's gonna be that much more better of an athlete, not just a
Mm,
bodybuilder,
mhm.
utilizing a lot of that as well too. I don't know how you guys feel about it, if it's pertinent or not.
I noticed when I started doing it, it kind of brought back a part of me that I lost a long time ago when I stopped like getting competitive. It's now I don't I'm not really much. I wonder if I can squat this much. That really doesn't bother me anymore. But now when I get the boxes out, I'm like, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I hold the weight if I do that. I could do that with a weight vest on. I wonder. And I started getting that back.
Yeah.
So it's become more fun for me just a couple weeks I've been doing this shit. So I like and I'm not gonna lie, I like doing the functional stuff where there's a little bit of risk I might get fucked up. As we all
Obviously,
saw,
with your
as we
video.
all saw when I ate shit on that box. But
That's funny. Yeah, I like it. But I like doing some cardio stuff. Not long distance cardio stuff, just shorter, more sprinting stuff like that. Like the rower, I love doing the rower. I love doing the bike, I love just again sprints, a lot of sprint stuff and shorter. My distances are going to be shorter, but that feeling, you can push yourself and really get your heart rate up and challenge yourself. That's like he said, yeah, it's like, oh man, look at my time and be like, okay, I'm gonna try and beat this time from the last time. And it's a low risk, right? To get hurt. I mean, you're doing a row or the bike or whatever. It's a low risk. You're just seeing how far you can push yourself, right? So not like before where I was lifting and I try and go heavier and heavier and heavier, put myself at a higher risk, right? Even now. So I'm not trying to go that heavy anymore because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to tear anything. So to me, it's not a big advantage for me to go really heavy now. I find a decent weight and I kind of stay with that. And that's where I
You know,
stay
it's so
with.
funny too. Like as bodybuilders, people think, "Oh, he's got big muscles. He can lift a lot," or like
Yeah.
what have you. It's so
Yeah.
deceiving. It's nothing athletic about it. But they call you up to help move some, like move
Oh, that was
housing.
always the thing. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is I always found that was funny is that bodybuilders there really aren't the best people to like do moving and
No,
work like,
tear
oh,
something.
go grab this big thing of plywood and go no, not really. You'll see that kind of skinny dude with the big forearms who's been doing that job for the last 10 years, that dude will take that stuff and fly quick, right? Put him in the gym, maybe he won't do that well. But out on the work site, those dudes, the 185-pounder dude just walking around, that guy can kill it. And the 250-pound bodybuilder would probably die trying
Yeah,
to do
see,
that
that's
work.
why bodybuilding is. That's why I'm
It's not as
inquiring
functional,
about that
right?
functional. Like
Yeah.
it is. It's literally like a dog and pony show. It's all show, no go. Like
I mean, there is strength. Don't get me wrong. I feel like, yeah, you do get strength from it
right as a byproduct of
as a
exercise.
byproduct from lifting, right?
Yeah.
You do get strength, but it's limited. Like you said, the endurance side of it, you're gonna get tired pretty fast, right? With all that muscle, your muscles require more oxygen, more blood. You're gonna get tired pretty fast when you're doing some activity, right? Physical activity. So besides lifting. So yeah, but yeah. mm, I don't know. I
Well,
think it's good. I don't know. I don't know if I would say if you're a top pro bodybuilder, if it would make sense to do a lot of functional. Maybe do it once a week, I
pepper it in
guess.
here and there.
Maybe once a week.
It
Yeah.
could help you it could help you get used to maintaining a heavier weight,
There, yeah, you could do
which will
something with
make your
that.
body
I think
more
you got
apt to
to
put on
be
more.
selective on what exercises though,
Oh
for
yeah, you don't want to
sure.
pull something
Yeah, don't be doing box jumps, man. If you're 200 270, like don't be doing box jumps.
Well, that's a part of it too. You've been bodybuilding for how many years now?
a lot.
And to incorporate what's fun to you again, it
Yeah.
gives you a new sense of purpose all over in the gym. It challenges you in differently, so it incentivizes you to do more here rather than just be like, oh, yeah, I get to lift today.
I also want to see if the conditioning's better. Like once I get leaner, is it going to be a different look because I did all this hit type functional shit?
You
I
mean conditioning by like your
how
cardio
you look,
or just your look?
yeah,
Okay.
because I do think there's essence in doing some of that interval type stuff that really eats off some of that body fat that's hard to
Mm.
lose. So I wonder if because every workout I do, I try to incorporate one or two things that are more functional, like clean and press or box jumps or something.
Oh, okay.
And if you guys see me, I get gassed real quick. So I wonder if I get more in shape, if like it's going to help me get leaner or how it's going to work out. So that's another reason why I started doing it. I want to see if once I get lean, if my look's different than usual.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
More fast twitch, burn off more of that white fat.
Because I've already got the graininess from when I trained heavy in high school and shit. So I wonder if it would put any more on it.
Interesting. Yeah, it's funny. There's not in this gym. There's not a lot of people that do functional stuff. Really, I mean,
No.
still to this day, like it really, it's never been like that here. Even though I have all the
Yeah,
stuff that
you
you
Yeah,
have a
can,
you've got
I
lot.
have
everything.
all of it.
You got everything.
Um, but people don't use it that much. And I remember whenever we would get like drop-ins or something, or sometimes there'd be somebody who might join for like a couple months, and they were like a CrossFitter type of
Yeah.
person more, and everybody would get irritated, like hey Mark, that guy he's always in the way. He's got the ball. He's doing this thing or whatever it was, and I just kind of laugh, like
Slamming
I'm
shit
like,
all over
yeah,
the
he keeps
place.
keeps slamming the ball over there. Or they just get annoyed, right? And I'm just like, well, he's doing the exercise. I mean,
I remember a little bit ago when CrossFit was a thing. I think you were still competing. A lot of the
mm,
fitters used to try and come out to bodybuild
mm.
or to watch the shows to see whether or not they could be a candidate for a bodybuilding show. I mean, that'd be fun to get more CrossFitters out here bodybuilding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be interesting. I mean, it's always been. I think we talked about it before, right? There's always before, not really anymore, but before there was like a thing where when CrossFitters, the first few years that CrossFit came out, it was always like I always felt like they were kind of
Blocky.
well, not speaking of their bodies, but just when it came to bodybuilding, they were always kind of talking shit about it or being negative about bodybuilders, because what we said, bodybuilders aren't functional, right? Bodybuilders look good and they can push some good weight, but they can't do a lot of those, the movements, right? Or sustainable. And so I remember like being around CrossFitters because I did get my level one cert. I went to the thing and got my level one cert for CrossFit and did it. And yeah, they would sit there and you'd hear them talking shit about bodybuilders. And for there, it is true to a certain extent. It was true because I was good out the gates, man. But then after getting halfway through whatever the WOD was, I was dying. You know what I mean? So I could start off really strong because I had strength, so that was helpful. But I couldn't sustain it. It was hard for me. with having that muscle, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think like now CrossFit's not it's not even a thing anymore.
Oh, I thought it was still huge. There's still
No,
lots
I
of
mean it's still there, but they have that other one now. What's the other one called?
F45.
No, it's not
Oh,
F45. There's a different name, and it involves a lot of running. They do a lot more running in it, but it's CrossFit exercises in there, but it's a lot more running involved. I forget the name. Anyway, can look it up. I've actually watched it. It's been out for the last few years, but it's kind of a thing. It's pretty popular. I think a lot of CrossFit athletes are doing it now. I don't know everything about it, but I think there's certain things that they don't do in it, and that's why it's appealing. Because CrossFit, a lot of guys are getting hurt, right?
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing. A lot of guys are getting hurt, and my thing
injured.
was to, I wanted to see the progression of CrossFit a good like 2 decades in, and see where
Yeah,
people's bodies are at after doing CrossFit
yeah. I
for
don't.
2 decades in comparison to like a bodybuilder. We have our own fair share of injuries
Yeah,
that come
it's not
come.
quite there yet. Well, because when did CrossFit start? Like 2000 and was it 2004 or five?
Yeah,
It's around
early
four,
2000s.
like 2004. So it's about 20 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the functional stuff. I got a question. It's a theory I have. I want to see what you guys think about it. So let's say we're doing pull ups, like real pull ups, not pull downs.
Yeah. Not kipping
Yeah.
or butterfly.
Yeah. So you're testing your pound for pound strength, right? And your endurance. So you'll get to where you can strap weight on you, and in your head you're still thinking you're just heavier, pulling more weight and all this. So I believe there's two ways your body will adapt. It's like, okay, I got to get stronger, more endurance, but if I drop some body fat, I'll be able to do more of these next time.
Yeah.
So do you think there's some kind of mental element in doing the functional stuff that programs your body to get rid of more body fat so it can be more efficient?
Hmm.
Scientifically,
I don't think so, dude.
Your body's got to adapt to it.
It does, but it depends on how hard. Okay, because I can tell you, I trained with CrossFitters for like a year almost. I was doing it. And there's a lot of CrossFitters in there that look the same the whole time.
Well, you can't eat like shit.
Yeah. Well, I think if you have a purpose, maybe. But yeah, I don't know because I feel like I think you have to really push yourself then. If you want to see your body adapt, you have to push
Yeah.
pretty hard. You can't just be, oh, let me do the exercises. Like you have to be like, okay, I'm trying to improve my
Almost
times
take a
on
progressive
this.
overload approach to it where you're trying to do
Yeah.
more weight or more reps doing it each
You need
time.
to improve
well,
your
that's
your
one thing with
time, improve.
calisthenics that I've noticed. You need to actually do a lot of progressive overload. You can't maintain to stay like just within your sets and rep range. Calisthenics, you got to push in order for you to get that one more rep for
Yeah.
maybe that next week over.
I think
Mm.
some of that explosiveness will transfer to your weightlifting too. If you're doing push-ups and box jump stuff and you get really explosive with weight, by the next time you get on a squat rack, I say it'll probably be a better day for you.
It could. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it.
But I've noticed as well too, doing those pull-ups and push-ups as far as calisthenics with your progressive overload, you actually gain a lot more traction and there's more return on investment seen a lot quicker than it is regular weightlifting, in my
Yeah.
opinion, from my own anecdotal
Mm.
experience.
You know what works really well, and then because I don't put added weight when I'm doing like push-ups and stuff, is I'll just like superset. So
Yep.
I'll do the bench press, but I'll do like a machine flat press, machine press. I'll do that. I'll go pretty decent weight, pretty heavy. I'll do that right. And then I'll do my push-ups like after. Like, take like a short 15-second, 20-second break, then do push-ups. That I noticed doing that, my push-ups get strong really fast. So like later when I'm doing just push-ups, I'm like flying through it
Yeah.
as compared to me doing push-ups and then overloading the push-up itself. I'll do something superset, something heavier before it, and then I'll do push-ups. And then I noticed that my push-ups improve drastically just doing that.
And then if you're going, what's your purpose and what you're going for, right? Aesthetics or functional
I think it's both. I mean, I'm always thinking like obviously aesthetics in a sense of yeah, I want to look good, right? But then I also am thinking, yeah, I want to be stronger. I want to do more reps, whatever,
Yeah.
So to me, it's both when I'm doing that. Some exercises, I mean, I probably don't think aesthetics at all. There's some where I'm just like, this is cardio. This is hard, and I'm just doing it. Like, yeah,
Well, now where I'm at in life, I mean, like how we talked about, we grew up watching Black Belt Theater
yeah,
and all of the exercises that they did,
hmm
you know, the physique was just a byproduct of
yeah.
being that athlete, So
Well, that's like
it
gymnasts, right? Like
gymnasts,
gymnasts. Look
yeah.
at gymnasts. They don't really lift weights, but
No, they're strong as
they have a good
hell.
physique, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, does create development for sure.
Well, I'm not fixing to compete, so it's not like I'm trying to you know, put on muscle or get shredded. I
Yeah,
just want to look okay.
that's the goal for you.
Yeah, that's my goal. Just look
Just to
okay.
look okay.
Not be
That's
fat.
a good goal.
Just look
That's
okay.
a nice goal. Look okay. Yeah, I think so. I think me, like it's like, yeah, I mean I still want to look good, but I also don't want to get injured. So that's a big one. I think that's almost in the front almost.
Yeah.
I'm always like, don't get injured, and then okay, look good, and you know, get keep your cardio solid, and your strength's good. It's like that. Don't get injured. It's like the top. So,
Yeah.
but I think I need to for me, I need to prioritize that because then it will remind me, right? Because if I don't think like that, then I'll do something that I probably shouldn't be doing, and then I'll get hurt.
Right.
So if I'm always thinking, don't get injured, okay, let's train smart.
Train smarter.
Yeah. So that's how I like to do it. But
What's with that face?
I was just thinking, I really don't care if I get injured.
well, yeah, I don't
I
like
mean,
getting
when I
injured
do get
anymore.
injured, I'll say different, but I'm so used to getting hurt here and there. I
I
just
don't like
don't
getting injured
fucking
anymore.
care.
I want to be able to just keep doing stuff. Like I
I
don't
want
want
to
to
wake up one
miss.
morning and not feel pain. Like it's just, oh, it's a good day today. Fuck, man.
I was up in that cold weather, my spine acted up, and there were some mornings like I could barely get out of bed. It
Really
was bad. Yeah.
interesting.
But now that I'm here, I didn't want to get dehydrated, it acts up too. So those two
Yeah.
things, because I was walking around DC not drinking water all day. By
Oh,
like
that's
by
bad.
like day two, I
That's
was
bad.
rolling out of bed and hitting the floor and trying to walk up on the nightstand. I'm fine now. I came back here and I'm good, but that cold really fucked it up.
You need the humidity.
Yeah, I was texting Mark, and Mark goes, "Yeah, this is why old people move to warm places."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was texting me. He's like, "Oh man," I was like, "Yep, that's why old people live in warm
It's
places,
so
dude."
funny too when they know
Yeah.
when it's gonna rain because their arthritis starts
Oh
acting
yeah,
up, right? Oh,
yep,
my knees. They're like, it's gonna
for
rain. How
sure.
do you know? Oh, because my knees, right?
Yeah,
What?
my knees. Yeah, and then it's true, right? It's actually interesting how that works.
I'm right around the corner from that shit, man. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be that lady.
Yeah,
You guys got anybody for the show coming up in April?
I got one.
I don't have anybody. No, unfortunately, but
Unfortunately or
nah. I mean, I
fortunately?
always like having. It's fun having at least one competitor, but
I like training competitors.
yeah, it's fun. I
You
don't
could
know what kind of turnout it's going to be. I mean, I haven't heard of a lot of people doing it, so I don't even know or where they're actually training at. Because I mean, here in this gym, I haven't heard of a lot of people doing it, so I don't know.
Is it just me or it seemed like a few years ago, every contest you always heard of tons of people
Oh
doing them
yeah,
all.
that's what I mean.
It's nuts. I don't know what's going on, why people are getting not attracted to it anymore.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I they used to. It was like really big. Like you would hear a lot of people doing it. I mean, I was having. I don't know. I would have like four, clients for the show
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
average.
IHF used to come packed. Like,
We did.
yeah, you guys used to bring a lot of people.
We still, which is, we still do bring a lot, right? When it comes to say like Sean Ray, that show, we still have a pretty decent amount of people that will do it. And most of the people, they're really good. So
Yeah.
we still get a lot of winners, a few overalls, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not as many for
Well,
sure.
maybe because, the economy was pretty rough the past 4 years and we
Oh,
had
I think
to
that's part of
work
it.
and cost of living, cost of
Yeah,
supplements, cost of gear, food, and all of the other stuff. Like nobody had the luxury to
I think
compete.
everybody's feeling it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think so. People are a lot of people are not
So
doing it because
hopefully
of
with
that.
this administration within the next couple of years we can do a quick turnaround and get numbers back up again. But
That'd be nice.
I don't know. Like I still think it's gonna be we talked about it earlier. Is the shows losing that illustrious coveted, oh, I competed at this show.
Yeah, is it not a
Yeah,
thing
it's
anymore?
or
Back when
is
there
it
was
like
only two
meh?
shows, it was a little different because it was
Yeah.
a big deal. Now there's shows all the time. I think that might have something to do with it.
Well, there's 4 shows, right?
Yeah, it used to be two when I got here. It was the Islands and Paradise Cup,
Yeah.
and then Stingray started.
And the Islands in Paradise Cup's gone.
Yeah,
And now you have Sean Ray, Aloha, Stingray, and Ikaika still.
Yeah,
Ikaika's kind of stepped down. I guess he's made it smaller, I guess, right? He went to a smaller venue.
he did. I mean, it's another thing too that he's very lackluster on the promoting
Mm,
throughout the year. You look at Ray Ronquillo and Sean Ray. Soon as one show is done, they blast it all over the social media things, and they're already promoting the next show for the next year,
yeah.
year round. So Ikaiko needs a little bit more help with that. I think so, and I think there's. I could be wrong, but there's too many shows and not enough people.
Well, so how many shows do you think there should be? Like two?
I
yeah,
think we should have two.
two's good.
Just 2 shows, like one earlier in the year and
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
later.
just like Stingray and Sean Ray.
Spring and
The
fall.
Rays,
Yeah,
just the
just have
Rays.
those two.
Because Stingray is in April, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So April and then November.
And I think if there's less shows, I think the competition is going to be a lot more fierce, personally.
Probably because now, right, you have less shows for to spread out. So it's everybody's gonna do these 2 shows.
Be
Like
less burned out too.
Yeah, less burned out,
probably.
and they would actually look the part that they're competing in rather than just looking like it's a fat loss contest.
Yeah. Yeah, you've said that before.
I'm
Well,
gonna
there's
You
some
say it
have
people
you
that
have an
again.
think
issue
that
with that.
though.
You have an
They
issue with
think it's
that.
all about losing fat.
Yeah.
Or weight loss, not a
Yeah.
bodybuilding. This is a bodybuilding show we're talking about.
It's great you lost 60 pounds, but you're gonna get your fucking ass beat if you get on that stage. You might want to think twice. I've seen people do it. Like they lose all this weight, and by stage standards, you're still fat. Like, great, you lost that weight. I get it. But by competitive standards, you've just
Oh, we
scratched the
know. Yeah,
surface.
yeah, I do know.
So you
Yeah.
want to celebrate by getting, sorry to say, but embarrassed on stage, go right the fuck ahead. But
Mm.
And
should
then
think
make a big
twice.
deal about it and be like, oh my God, yeah, today's low carb day. Oh, today's carbo load day. Oh, we're depleting and today's water load day.
Mm.
Make it a deal. Make it a big deal for nothing when you obviously forgot the part that it was bodybuilding.
Well, I do remember when they used to actually announce the bios, they would sit there
Oh yeah,
and
they did.
because they would be like what gym you're training at, who you're thanking, and like I want to thank my family and all this. And I remember there had been people that were like, and she's lost 60 pounds, or they would put that in their
Yeah.
bio. I just wanted to do this show to show everybody that you can be done, and and I lost
I'm a
60
mom of
pounds, or
12.
yeah, exactly. And so they'll read it. She's like, right, does exactly right. Mother of 6, and she lost over 100 pounds. And
Flight
da-da-da-da.
attendant for
Bring her
Hawaiian
on
Airlines.
stage, and everyone's like, they're cheering because they kind of got the background now, right?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe that kind of helps when people know there's a background, like, okay, wow, she lost 100 pounds, hey, not bad. But they don't do the bios anymore, so you just go up there and they're
Thank
just like,
God.
Sucks.
who's this girl? She needs to lose some more weight, like, right? Because it's like you don't know that she lost 100 pounds,
Yeah.
but you're just looking at it based off of what's in front of you.
Fuck are they
So
doing up
Oh,
there?
look at this guy.
Right.
He forgot to diet.
yeah, like, dude, like, bro, did you even start your diet yet? And the guy's been like dieting for like a year and a half, like whatever. I mean, that's why.
Wrong racial.
Yeah. What?
He did the one in April, not the one in November.
Wrong ratio. We should have waited. That's true, actually. There's another ratio coming up. If you just keep waiting, there's another
Just
ratio.
keep dieting into that
There's
one,
like
man.
3 of them. So, that's funny,
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, That's cool though. I don't know. I think we have said it before though. If it motivated somebody to do the show, that's pretty cool. I mean, if the show motivated him to lose the weight, that's pretty cool. But like you said, if you're not ready to step on stage, you probably shouldn't. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they're gonna anyway.
Oh, they're gonna do it.
Like I've said before, when they say, I just want to get the experience, I reply, do you want it to be a shitty one? And if
Yeah.
not, okay, then don't get on stage yet because it's going to be a shitty experience.
Right. Right.
So I hate when I get that. Is I just want the experience. Like, okay, well, it's going to suck, and you're going to have to live with that forever until you do a better one. So you really want to do that.
That's true. Well, for most people, because they don't realize that when they're standing by themselves, they feel good about their bodies, about what they've done. But when they get back there at the show and they're like, oh, these are the people. Oh, no. And I've got to line up with these people. And they're looking at themselves going, oh, shit. And then they start to feel uncomfortable. Then it's like
But I think
something
some of that the
motivates you.
coaches need to be more honest with people about that. Oh yeah, let's get you ready and get you on there just so they can get paid. It's like no, you gotta be fucking. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Yeah.
That was a problem I used to have. And I had to get better at just telling people when they weren't ready.
Hmm.
Even if they're dead set on doing the show,
They can still do it. I'll still help you, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna do good.
and then like their body hadn't been moving for 6 weeks, and they're telling you that they're following the plan to the T. So how do you handle those type of people?
Well, be honest with them, but if they decide to get up there anyway, when they come off stage and they have that frown on their face, be like, remember how this feels. Next time you're not following your shit. Because some people get into it, like you said, and they'll be beach body ready or they'll lose some weight and they think they're going to be
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
And they get backstage and see people like, what the fuck? They
Right.
don't realize what they're up against. So
Exactly.
sometimes they need that fucking kick in the ovaries or whatever when they're up there and they come off. She comes off and you tell her like this, this is how shitty this feels. Yeah, okay, well, you do this again, you're gonna have to follow shit. We're gonna have to get it better because this is
Mhm.
not.
Man, I'm sick of that shit. People, that I try to help them, but I'm following everything you said to the T, and I don't know why I'm not losing weight or losing fat, or I still look the way that I do. And
Mhm.
you're just like, oh,
Or they're at a restaurant on Instagram and then you text them like, well, I didn't eat anything. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When somebody says following it to the T, you're right. Like,
or this person's on copious amounts of gear, and you've been working with them for about 15 weeks, and their body didn't change, and they're like, I'm following everything you said, and eating right. Your
yeah.
gear's fake, or
Mhm.
your workout shit,
Or you
or
don't weigh your food, or you're missing meals, or you're overeating, or you're
it's so hard, and
cheating.
they lie to you straight
Well,
faced.
no, because I've literally, and you find out about it later, right? A lot of times you might even find out about it months after the show. You find out, you hear, oh yeah, maybe not from them, but maybe their friend. Like I've had that. Like, oh yeah, so and so did so. They did really good at the show. Yeah, they did good. I think they could have done better, but whatever. Oh yeah. Well, I know. Like every day she was going to Starbucks every day and getting the latte. Da, da, da. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, yeah. Like, so man, I remember. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, she would have one every day. I was like, aren't you dieting? Shouldn't you know? And I would be like, she never told me that. So it's like, right? There's like an extra 700 calories or whatever those things are.
I got that a
So,
couple of times where they did well at their show, and then you hear, "Oh, imagine if you stuck to the diet instead of second, you could have made first." And
right.
then you're just like listening,
Yeah.
and you're like, "You fucking assholes!" Like, dude,
Because somebody knows. You
yeah,
may not know, but there's somebody in their life that
yeah.
knows what they were
And if you
doing.
ask them, like, I've had long distance clients where I'm like, okay, I want a list of everything you put in your body. Then I'm thinking, you're not going to fucking tell me anyway.
No.
You're going to put down what I want to hear.
Right.
So, but I know looking at you and looking at these photos and stuff, you're not following it.
Hmm.
But you can never really get them to fess up. So it's like, you just
Yeah.
have to,
It's hard. Yeah.
Or they're going through their shit, so they eat the food and they think they can outwork their diet or out cardio their.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, you ate a pizza, you slipped up. Oh, so that was what, 3,000 calories. So now you're just gonna do 3,000 calories of
Of
It's
cardio.
cardio.
not going to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that, guys.
Yeah. That's interesting. I know.
Just
But
eat the spaghetti.
I'm just like, just eat it and just go back to your normal workouts. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna kill
Or you
yourself.
can't stop drinking alcohol or can't stop going out with your boys. That one really pisses me off. It's just like,
Oh, alcohol, yeah.
or just, I have to go out with my boys. No, you fucking don't, dude. Like, shut up. I get tired of hearing that
Well,
crap.
on that one for sure, because if they're still going out, a lot of times, let's be honest,
Yeah.
they're doing a shot or something. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of times people who are competitive, they're like, "Fuck, I can't wait till this is done so I can go out again. I can have fun." Because you're like, "No, I'm not going to go out." Because
Yeah.
you go out, it's too easy. It's
Yep.
too easy to just here, bro. Like you're like, "No, dude, I'm good." No, no, bro, and it's like sitting in front of you, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah, but peer pressure dies after college. So if you're a grown ass man, well, my buddies made me
well,
shut up.
nobody's making you.
Yeah,
You're
give that
wanting that
crap.
shit, and then you're
Yeah.
going out,
My
and then it's
buddy
in
made
front of
me.
you.
My buddy made
So
me. Like, dude, you
it's
out of
yeah,
mind.
nobody makes you. It's just you want it,
Yeah,
and then
you
you're
want it.
putting yourself in front of
Yep.
it. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Why would I put myself? Why would I go to a freaking pizza parlor and hang out for an hour every day when I can't have freaking pizza?
Yeah.
That wouldn't make any sense to me. Because I guarantee you, one day I'm probably gonna be like, "Yo, I want a large pizza. Just give me that fucking
Yeah.
thing already." Like I'm
Get it
gonna
over
order that
with. Fuck
motherfucker.
it.
I'm gonna eat that thing, right? Like, and it's just me. I was the one that did it, but it's gonna be hard. So you stay away from that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even watch TV shows with that stuff. Like people love watching the food
Food
channels.
channel.
I
So
don't.
ridiculous.
I don't do it. It just makes me hungrier.
Yep. And people don't realize how much rest and recovery your body actually needs in order for it to look a type of way in preparation for a
Oh
show.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
cortisol adds so much freaking stress and water to your body, you
I
know?
know it's crazy. It can completely change the look.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Overnight.
you could be, a few weeks out just looking phenomenal. And like you said, within like the week before the show, everyone, the guy's like, "What happened, dude? What happened to you, dude? Like, what's going on?"
Got
Like,
into a
yeah,
fight with my other half and
yeah,
look like
yeah.
this
It's been a rough
before the
week.
show.
It's been a rough week.
Fuck.
Like, oh yeah, it's been a rough
Had to
week.
pull
Yeah.
overtime doubles or like
Yep.
whatever
Yep.
overnights. And they're like,
Hmm.
yeah, you know what? That pays you money, but you dedicated your time to the show. So it's up to you if you want to look
Yeah. You could have
some
taken the
type of
week
way.
off
Yeah.
just to like so you can relax, right? But for sure, like, yeah, I think a lot of people don't even think about that stuff. They just think, "Oh, I'm just gonna work. It's fine. I can work, and
Yeah.
then I can do the show," not realizing that is stress, and that stress is gonna affect the way you look
Yep.
for sure. And that's why a lot of times too, right? A month out, some people are like, "Oh man, they look so good." You're like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna kill it." And then as the show approaches, like, whoa, they start to look something's going on. They start to look washed out, and then they do the show, and you're like, "Man, you were ready a month out." But it was like
They couldn't
they
hold
were
it.
ready, but they also, I think, as it came, right, the stress and things were going on and things were happening, and it was hard for them to keep that look, right, because of stress and because of life. So that's tough. Yeah, that's one of those things. Right on. Hopefully next week, yeah, we'll have some guests coming up these next few weeks. Trying to get some people in here, so some good guests.
That's nice
And
to be back.
yep,
Yeah.
back on the grind. Well, thanks for joining us this time, and we'll definitely see you guys next time on Paradise. Hello.